Abhinav, I'm leaving the session now. You can start in next 2 3 minutes. Even if there are not a lot of people, just start it because this is being live streamed
Yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube as well.
Yeah,
Cool.
sure, sure. I'll just begin. Like as people join, they can keep asking the doubts. I
Sure,
am
cool.
clearly visible, right?
Yeah, you're audible and visible.
All right, great, great. Okay, I'll take over from here.
Yeah,
Thank
just
you.
keep accepting people. I'm leaving now. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, guys. So this is general doubt solving session. I'll just quickly introduce myself. I'm Abhinav Somani. As you can read on my screen here. Uh, you might know me, and I am here today to solve any doubts at all that you have related to CLAT or ALET, or will just in general your law preparation. So yeah, I don't see there being much point in any further ado. In case anyone misses this part, they can always go back and watch it on YouTube. So let's just begin. Just raise your hands and then you can ask your doubts. Anirban Datta, go ahead.
Uh, Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, actually, I had a doubt that I am in class 11th right now. I'm giving CLAT 2025. So, like, I
Mm-hmm.
think if I'm not wrong, as I've watched your interviews, you also started from class 11. So,
Yeah,
apart from that, I am taking coaching from. Should I name the institution or should I keep it blank?
it's up to you. But yeah, like I understand that you're taking coaching. All right.
Okay, if I'm comfortable, from legal edge. So at the
Mm-hmm.
mocks, okay, and so actually I have two questions. That first of all, during the initial course of the preparation. Hello,
Uh-huh.
hello.
Yeah, yeah, keep going, Anirban. You're
Yeah,
visible,
yeah.
audible.
There's some sound, I think.
Ah, no, no, it's fine, fine. We can
Okay,
hear you.
yeah, yeah. So in the initial course of the preparation, I had a doubt that what should the preparation include? Number one, number two, that like what was your initial mock scores and how, and we should when I'm giving a mock and analyzing it, I don't understand that how will I improve in the next mock and how can I miss the progress for each mock as well
All
as
right, all right.
reading sources.
All right. So just
And last doubt,
okay,
one
you
thing
are
that GK
yeah.
should be prepared from now onward.
Okay, so okay, you are asking very good doubts. I think a lot of you might have been having these common doubts. Okay, so let's go over them one by one. Could you just go one by one, tell all your doubts like one at a time?
Abhinav Bhaiya, you can see the chat box one by one and we will raise their doubts, our doubts there. This will
Oh
be
yeah,
good.
so yeah, like Anirban, you can just repeat your doubts, and others you can keep putting them in the chat box. I'll keep answering them. But yeah, I would prefer if it is an interactive session. Chat box will get boring very soon. So yeah, let's carry on with this only. Anirban, please repeat your doubts one by one.
Yeah. So my first doubt was that what should our initial. I am for instance, I am a dummy school. I have to give 11th exams, but I am in dummy school right now. I have to go once in a week in 11th.
All right, all
So,
right,
but I have to give the exams first. So what should our schedule include apart from the classes? Hello. Apart from the
all
classes.
right. So yeah, yeah, all right. So right now, if you are in 11th, then your schedule should look like, yeah, attend your classes, begin to read the newspaper daily. Like it is up to you if you want to make notes, not make notes. Really depends on you. But I would recommend at least reading the newspaper. Definitely, you can begin reading the newspaper. There's absolutely no harm at all to it. And more than anything, it will help you prep for your 12th because, see, when you begin reading the newspaper daily, it will take quite a lot of time in the beginning. So once you improve your speed in 11th itself, it will be really helpful in 12th. So your daily schedule should be like read the newspaper, attend your classes if you have any. Then yeah, you if you wish to, you can give one mock a week. It's really up to you at this point. You can first focus on improving your concepts. For example, improve your reading speed, improve your vocabulary, then get a firm grip on the basic concepts of maths, then like I'm sorry, get to learn some basic legal theory, understand what is an assumption, what is an inference, what is a conclusion, how do you understand the main point of the passage, what strengthens and weakens. After you have mastered all these basics, after that you can begin giving mocks. All right,
Okay.
next
Okay.
doubt, Anirban.
Yeah, so and the next doubt was that when I am giving mocks every week as it is arranged by the institution. So I wanted to ask that, for example, if I'm giving this mock, I have scored 55 or 60, whatever the score is. The next mock, I'm not understanding it even after analyzing that what has gone wrong. How will it improve? Means I'm not getting the path to improvement. Although I've given only two mocks, but still I wanted to ask that thing.
All right. So I think then there's a deficiency in the way you are analyzing the mock. If you are unable to understand where you are going wrong, that means you are, not able to analyze the mock in the way you should. So the key, the secret, so to speak, of analyzing a mock is to write down every single mistake that you make. For example, you got a question wrong, write down beside that question that this is where I went wrong in this question. Because if you write it down, then in the next mock, when you see a similar pattern of question, you'll immediately remember it. Ki, okay, I got it wrong this last time because I did this. The correct way to do this is this, so I will do this. That sort of thing.
Should I ask the next one?
So I guess Saurav has something to say.
Okay,
Saurav,
okay, sure, sure.
like, do you have something to add to this, or is it a separate question, Saurav?
Yes, I have question regarding time management in mocks. I usually
Okay, we'll come to it after Anirban's questions.
yes.
All right, Anirban, continue.
Yeah, another thing that, for example, yeah, I think that's the common doubt that Saurav had. I think it was like the, for example, I will give you my experience that if I am attending QT, as you have told in your many of your mentoring sessions as well as in YouTube, that you need to attend all sections to get a mark, to get the good marks. So I wanted to ask that, for example, if I'm attending QT, sometimes in some mocks it is taking about around like 25 minutes or 20 minutes, and if I'm not attending QT, then it is being left aside, that there is no point. So what should be, can you give a like a ideal, like a round basic idea about how should the attempt look like there is English, then I do one section of QT, then like what how can I set a time limit, then after this I will not attempt this even if I'm not finished a particular section.
Okay, see, to tell you the truth, there is no one ideal way to solve a mock, because it really depends on your strengths and weaknesses. For example, if you are good in reading, then the reading sections will be quick for you. If you are good in Q, if you are good at maths, then the math sections will be quick for you, right? So, but if you are asking me for what should an ideal time distribution be, I mean, I don't know what the ideal is, but for me, it was something like English took 20 to 25 minutes, GK was 5 minutes, legal 35 to 40 minutes. If it is very difficult, then sometimes even 50 minutes. Logical took 20 to 25 minutes, not like majority of the time. Logical got completed in 20 minutes, and QT took like 10-15 minutes. So this is the time distribution which I typically had. I don't know if this is ideal, but this is what worked for me.
Right, sir.
And yeah, the pattern to approaching a mock. Once again, there is no one ideal pattern to approach a mock, because it is a very subjective paper. You can start in any manner. Like if any of you know permutations and combinations, like I am not good at it, but if any of you are good at it, then you can probably find out the number of different combinations you can make while starting the paper, right? So what I used to do was English and GK in one go, followed by one set of QT, legal, one set of QT, logical, last set of QT. Now, this was not like set in stone ki I follow this without any change at all. I did change it sometimes according to the needs of the mock. Like if I was running short on time, or if I had a lot of time, or if one section was too easy or too difficult, but majority of the time I followed this pattern. Now to all of you, I would recommend do not blindly follow what anyone else tells you, because CLAT is a very subjective paper. What works for me might not work for you, Anirban, and it might work perfectly for you, Saurav. So in such a subjective paper as CLAT, there is really no one strategy. You still have like 6 months, around 6 to 7 months to go until CLAT, so you can experiment around and find whatever works for you. Just do not blindly follow someone's advice. Experiment and find what works.
Yes, the last doubt I will amalgamate two doubts. The short doubt. The first, that thing, should we do GK from now, from class 11th right now, from the resources I am getting? Say another thing that,
Mocks.
no, yeah, in the, no, I'm asking that should we prepare for GK from class 11th? I'm class in
Yeah.
and another thing that, for example, that the vocab thing I am doing normal Lewis, as well as the Hindu thing, whatever the whatever new words come to me, I have noted down in a line, and there is a kind of vocabulary book provided in the institution I study, as well as I'm attending the FLE course by the league by the NLS. I think you are also doing that. I have seen
Yeah,
you.
I am. Acha,
So
you're
is
that
it,
Anirban. Okay, yeah, I remember seeing your name somewhere. Alright,
yeah,
sorry, continue.
so yeah, so is it like a kind of help, or should we like attend it very diligently, or it can be a casual? I've taken the subscription already, so it can be a casual. These three doubts I've combined it.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
So, ठीक है. First things first, should you do GK from now? See, there is no harm to doing GK. See, because if you begin in 12th, then at first you'll be very slow and eventually you'll improve your speed. But if you begin doing GK from now on itself, then by the time you get to 12th, you'll be an expert at it, and then it won't take you as much time. So yeah, I would highly recommend doing GK from now itself, and you will have the time, because any believe, like, I know no one takes class 11th that seriously. So you do have the time. There is no harm in doing GK from now itself. Your second question was about FLE.
Second question was about FLE and the vocab thing.
Oh yeah, vocab. So I think this is fine. Normal Lewis. I think that word power made easy, right? That is a good
Yeah,
book.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then the Hindu. Yeah, I think it's more than enough. Like, just make sure to keep revising your vocabulary. Like, if you keep revising it again and again and again, with time you will get fluent with it. And lastly, about
Also,
FLE.
if I interrupt this, there was a question along with it, that the reading sources, like apart from the Hindu, should I read websites like Medium, the Aeon, or the New Yorker, anything kind of that?
If you have the time, then go for it. But I don't think it's necessary, because
Hindu is
I
more or
mean, yeah,
less enough.
yeah, you can read it. There is no harm to it, but I just don't feel it's that necessary.
Should
If
I
you
give
have the
two
time, then you can
sectional
go.
tests every day? Like, for example, there are some issues like to sit for a mock 2 hours, like a concentration. So, like, should I give two sections at a time every day? Like, so that for in the on the mock day it is easy for me. There is kind of very,
I
and
would
then
recommend just giving a mock instead of giving sectionals, because a
okay,
sectional only helps you with one section, right? A
right,
mock
right.
will help you prepare for all the sections at the same time. So I
And
would
the last thing,
recommend giving.
affiliate thing, I have taken a lot of time. Affiliate thing.
FLE, I mean, it is helpful, but like, I don't know how helpful it is from a CLAT perspective. But like, NLSIU has directly said ki this will not help you
Yeah,
prepare for CLAT.
absolutely.
But yeah, you can give it 1 hour of the day, 4 hours a week, right? Like, there's nothing bad in it, and you're getting a good certificate at the end. So where's the
Yeah.
harm?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was a great
All
thing.
right,
Thank you.
Saurav, sorry for cutting you off earlier.
No problem. I was basically giving the early mocks, and my scores are stuck in 70s for the
Yeah.
past 3 and 4 mocks. Okay, and my main problem is I spend too much time in English section. I have a good accuracy. I score 22, say 24 marks on an average in English. Why while spending on 45 minutes alone in English section? So I have to suffer in critical reasoning section and QT section. How do you guys do RC and CR in within 25 minutes? What technique do you use during CLAT paper?
Okay, so that's the thing. You are giving that much time in English. That is why you're getting that much accuracy, right? So what I would recommend is set a time for each section and then make sure you do not take more than that much time to solve that section. For example, since you're a bit weaker in English, I would recommend like set a timer of 30 minutes for English and try to do all the six passages within those 30 minutes. Now, if you are able to do those six passages, great. If you're not able to do it, then leave it and move on. Do not give more time to that because English is not the only section, right? There are like five whole sections. So yeah, just set a time. Like for example, you can set like 30 minutes for English, 5 minutes for GK, 40 minutes for legal, 25 minutes for logical reasoning, and like 15 minutes for QT. I really hope the math adds up. If not, I'm sorry. But yeah, you can add some, like you can set a particular time for each section and make sure that you do not give more than that much time to that section. If it is taking more time, then leave it, move on to the next section. In eventually, as your speed improves, you'll be able to complete that entire section in that much time, sort of.
Yes, but how do you start with the passage? Do you read first questions, then passage, or just reading the passage and solve all the question? Do not refer back to the passages. How
I
do you just
read.
get the main idea and author's conclusion opinion in just one skimming?
Okay, so in English and logical reasoning, I read the questions before reading the passage. But in legal reasoning, I read the passage before reading the questions.
Yeah.
And yeah, about skimming, I would not recommend skimming through a passage. I always think that it's better to read the passage as a whole and understand it. Because skimming might help you in a mock, but if you look at the actual CLAT papers of the past 4 years, they are highly based on understanding of the passage. You cannot answer the questions in the CLAT paper based on a mere skimming. So I would recommend try to understand the passage rather than just skimming through it. It will take time, but as you get good at it and once you are able to understand the passage, it will definitely save time as well and also help you improve your accuracy.
And how do you eliminate the options? Do you also need the confusion in options or take more time in options?
Eliminating the options, so yeah, it is an acquired art. Matlab, there is really no shortcut to do it. Some like okay, some things you can do is firstly the examiner sometimes lay traps. Ki the child will not pay attention and will get caught in this question. So firstly, like try to look if, are there any traps in any of the questions. After that, it's really based on your understanding of the passage, and that's why I recommended against skimming, because in skimming it is really difficult to differentiate between two options. You are not able to understand what the correct answer is. So that is why I always recommend understand the passage. If you understand what the passage has to say, if you understand what the point is that the author is trying to get across to you, then you will have no problem at all in eliminating the options.
Yes. And lastly, would you like to suggest some books for a good speed reading?
I would say that instead of like you can read books. See, books though depends on what you are interested in. For example, if you're into, let's say, fiction, then you should pick up a fiction. Just a second, guys. Yeah, if you're into fiction, then you should pick up a fiction book. If you are into, let's say, science and technology, then you can pick up a magazine. Like it really depends on your interest, but instead of that, I would recommend reading the newspaper, because yeah, it helps you with GK. And yeah, the newspapers such as the Hindu and the Indian Express use amazing vocabulary. Like it will also help you improve your vocabulary pretty quickly. And the third advantage is, a lot of CLAT passages are sometimes lifted from the newspaper, so there is a good chance that the passage that you see in CLAT you have already read it beforehand.
And what do you do for legal? Do you read any extra or just cover the newspaper?
Legal, read the newspaper and like just cover some very basic legal theory like contracts, torts, constitution, family law, criminal law, like just very basic. Do not go deep into it. like just the very basic things.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Padma.
Yeah.
So actually, I wanted to ask, what was your schedule like when you were preparing for CLAT?
It differed. For example, but like yeah, it mostly it was like like this is pre Diwali. What I'm about to tell you, pre Diwali, it was like I woke up at 4:30 each morning. Then I just got ready and like had a cup of tea, etc. By 5 to 7:30, I read the newspapers, the Hindu and the Indian Express, and like I did some GK. 7:30 I left for school, got home at 2 to 2:30 I relaxed. 2:30 onwards I just did whatever I had planned for the day. Like I gave a mock, I analyzed some previous mock, I attended my classes, etc., etc. And post Diwali I did not attend school, that like I attended very irregularly. So then like yeah, I kept waking up at 4:30, and after that yeah, I just studied the whole day, or like as much as I could, because like you get tired. Yeah.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Yeah. Kanav.
Hi, actually, you have been mentioning that your resources for current affairs are majorly Hindu and Indian Express. So,
Yeah.
like, the thing is that I was religious with reading Hindu and Indian Express for the past like a long time. But like in Jan Feb, I didn't make notes out of Hindu, and like now I've started the practice. So, like, what did you exactly do? Did you make notes out of the same, and like compendium? You have mentioned that you used to go for seals compendium. So, like, if you could just detail about it a bit.
All right. Note making was majorly like I made notes from entirety of the Hindu, like whatever news I found important in the Hindu. I just like I had the e-edition, like I read it on my laptop. So I just directly copied and pasted it into a Google Docs. And as for the Indian Express, I made handwritten notes of the explained section. Like not all the articles in the explained section, only the important articles from the explained section. So I made a handwritten notes from the Indian Express. Now, if you have missed January and February's notes, it's fine. I mean, if you have the time, then you can go back and cover them. There's really no harm to it. But I feel that the last 6 months GK is a lot more important. So if you have the time to go back and cover it, sure, go for it. But if you don't have the time, then you can just leave it. I don't think there will be that
Hmm.
much harm done. If I would recommend one thing, at least go back and read all the editorials from that period.
Sure. Actually, like I just like Jan Feb, I've just done CM month and like legal edge cover. So actually, one more question which I asked, like a bit personalized. Actually, abhi CL ka a few days back there was this mock, like few weeks back. I got 127 in that, and post that, obviously that was a bit easier mock, but still, like I do feel that my percentile in that one was like very good, but it just went down to like rank 14 or something of that sort, and like um, marks did go down to 110 and then 105. Although the difficulty also increased, but I somehow feel that like I'm like lacking a bit. So, and what were your fluctuations like in the mocks?
Dekho, Kanav, your scores will vary according to the difficulty. So instead of looking at your scores, just look at your rank. As long as your rank is consistent, and as long as you have a good double digit, or even a good if you have a single digit rank, that's amazing. But even if you have like a respectable double digit rank, that's fine. It's when your rank starts slipping that you have to worry, because
Hmm.
obviously difficulty will vary, and according to the difficulty, obviously your scores will vary. So instead of looking at the scores, look at your your
Rank
rank
percentile.
in the, yeah.
And what was your fluctuations like, if you could uh, tell about that?
Fluctuations. So okay, so my like lowest score ever was 39, which was the first
Hmm.
legal age mock I gave. And my highest ever was 128.5, which was in the second sample paper released by the consortium of NLUs.
And your percentile used to be in what range? In CL and LE mocks.
CL, always had a poor rank because well, a lot of people cheat. You know,
Hmm.
people scoring 140s. I don't
Yeah, that's the.
think that's possible. So like CL, my rank used to be like under 50. Like in like after like June, like after June, July, August period, my rank started to be like under 50. Legal Edge, my rank, like by that August September period, it was like under 30, and I tried to keep it under 30. It did a lot of times go above 30 as well, and one or two times I got a single digit rank, but I tried to keep it under 30.
Okay, and just last thing,
Yeah,
maths, like you just used to focus on the mocks, nothing else apart from that,
yeah,
no resources as
yeah, yeah,
such.
yeah.
And like I've seen many people, they falter on the last day, like they've been doing
Yeah.
consistent mocks and all that. So how did you manage um, the day strategy, and like how did you manage your anxiety or anything? Were you anxious, first of all?
All right. Yeah, anxious, so definitely, and it is a natural thing. Like if you have been
Hmm.
preparing for something for such a long time, it is but natural to be obvious. Sorry, what I'm saying is
Anxious,
it is
yeah.
but natural to be anxious. Sorry, my tongue is slipping all over the place today. So yeah, but my schedule for the day of mock was like I woke up after a nice 8 to 9 hours of sleep, all relaxed. I
Hmm.
just, you know, I wore comfortable clothes. I love coffee, so I made myself a nice cup of coffee. On the way to the center, I had made a D-Day playlist consisting of all of my favorite songs, which put me in a good mood. I listened to those good songs. At the center, I met all of my friends, got myself all happy. We reassured each other ki okay, we are all prepared for this. Then I just like drank the cup of coffee and went in. And just kept a calm mind, kept breathing throughout the paper, and it went in.
And in case, sorry, but yeah, in case you were going through a mock and like you were facing, did it happen to you that you are facing fatigue or something, and you just feel that I've messed up this section, and like how did you handle yourself if any such
Yeah,
thing would have happened?
yeah. You do feel that, but yeah, you will feel fatigue. But I guess you just have to tell yourself ki fine, this is just a mock. This is not the actual CLAT paper. It is okay if I mess this up. Now let me just try to make the best of the other sections that I can. CLAT
Sure.
is very much a mindset paper, as you
Yeah,
might have already heard many people say. So you just
yeah.
have to keep a calm mind and be very determined throughout the mock. I think that
And
is
A-Lit strategy would be like you also got
ALET.
rank on it.
ALET, I really did not prepare that much separately from CLAT. Like I just did some analytical reasoning in the week before ALET. And apart from that, I think the big thing in ALET is to just be ready for anything on the final day, because you've seen how wildly the ALET paper pattern
Hmm.
changes, right? Um, so I think the trick to ALET is like, yeah, I think the preparation is pretty much same to CLAT. Just like do some analytical reasoning for ALET and stay very calm on the final day. Be ready for anything. Do not go into the exam hall expecting anything.
Sure. Thank you,
Yeah.
and best wishes for your future, and
Thank
you're an
you.
inspiration for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think you had something to say.
Hello.
Yeah, Aryan, go ahead.
Yeah, I can ask.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Uh, yeah, if we have completed the theory portion, like all the assumption, weakening, and all the other concepts, then we can start giving 3 to 4 mocks a week or alternate days mocks.
Uh, Aryan, are you in 11th or 12th right now?
We get 12th.
Or you're in 12th, right? Yeah, so like how many mocks are you giving currently?
But yeah, in whole month I give around 7 to 8 mocks.
Yeah, that's a good number. Like if you think that you have covered all the concepts, if you think that your grip on your concepts is very firm, then yeah, you can increase it to like 3 mocks a week, and like just see how much you're comfortable with. Because I knew people, and even I myself, I gave 1 mock every day, but that was in the very final stretch of my preparation, like October, November. So it depends on you. Like just for example, it seems that you're giving like 2 mocks a week currently. So if you're comfortable with that, then you can try knocking that up to 3 mocks a week. Now if you're comfortable with 3 mocks a week, then then increase it to 4. Now, like, don't give like 16 mocks a week or something. But yeah, as long as you're comfortable with it, then you can give like 4 5 mocks a week. But yeah, just increase it gradually. Do not like go tum, like keep like do not do like 2 mocks this week, 3 mocks next week, 4 mocks next week. Like, I mean, the week after that. Just slowly keep increasing it and see how many mocks you are comfortable with.
And भैया, how many mocks did you give in all? मतलब total आपने कितने mocks दिए?
Must have been like 70 80, or perhaps even more than that. Like, yeah, easily 70 80. And like
Actually,
I think around 20 to 30 for ALET.
भैया मैं ऐसा सोचता था कि मतलब ऐसा मेरी बिलीफ है कि जैसे हम लोग ने कॉन्सेप्ट्स कर लिए अपने पूरे सब, तो हम लोग उसको हर मॉक्स देते हैं, उसमें अपनी गलतियां ढूंढे, उसके बाद उसको एक दिन एनालाइज करें, जिस दिन मॉक दिया उसके बाद दूसरे दिन एक दिन का रेस्ट ले, उसके बाद फिर अल्टरनेट डेज पे हम लोग मॉक दें। तो ऐसे कॉन्सेप्ट्स तो मैं बस खाली इम्प्रूव करने जाना है बस हम लोग को, तो मॉक्स तो ऐसे फिर दे सकते हैं मतलब जितने चाहें एक तरीके से।
आर्यन, मतलब आप, it depends on you. आप like how many mocks a week you are comfortable with. If ये alternative days works for you, then you can go for it. Like, different people have different capacities for mocks. If you have the capacity to give a mock every other day, then there is no harm in it. You can definitely go for it.
And Mia, what were your average and highest scores in LE mocks?
Average score in LE mocks was like 70 to 80, and highest was 112 or 110 something. Hanshika. Anirban, I'll
Yeah.
come to you again at the end after the
I
question.
just wanted to know, like, how, like, when you were preparing for CLAT alongside with your school examinations, how did you manage both of them? Because even like there's a lot of pressure from school, and especially when you're a humanities student, you need to be in touch with economics and subjects like that. So, what's your
Um,
take on that?
no, believe me, you really do not have to study for your boards up until after CLAT is done. Regarding like economics and political science are actually good to know for CLAT. Like, they are very helpful from a GK perspective. So yeah, I mean, I don't know the scene for commerce and science students, but I was personally in CBSE humanities, and it is very much manageable. Like, I did not begin studying for my boards until January 2023, and I was still able to comfortably pass. So you really do not have to worry about your boards. Believe me, you can very easily cover it in 2 months. And like, yeah, like if you have an exam in your school, just make sure to like begin studying a day or two earlier.
Yeah, just one more question. Like,
Yeah,
since you have been, you used to follow the weekly monthons of CL, did they
yeah.
actually help you in the LE mocks? Because usually those questions from the monthon, weekly monthon, they are always in the, the mocks provided by CL.
Well, GK is GK. Whether career launcher makes the mock or legal edge makes the mock, an event happened for everyone, right? So yeah, the mocks, the months definitely helped. But I would say keep a compendium as your secondary source. For your first source, always go for the newspaper. Like, read 2 newspapers. Like, for me, it was Hindu and Indian Express. And a compendium was secondary to cover anything that I might have missed in the newspaper. So this is my strategy to like keep the newspapers as your primary source of GK and a compendium as your secondary source. Yeah,
All right. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. All right. Since no one else has any doubts, I'll look at the chat now. Um, CL mock score, yeah, varied. Like in May, I think it might have been around 80, 90. But even like by the end, it varied a lot actually, from 100 to 120. Yeah. How do you attempt all the RC questions? Okay, I think I have answered this. Mocks. Yeah, Kanav.
Yeah. So one more thing. If you supposedly you read the news, like India and ASEAN are holding naval exercise right now. So, what would be like you read this in the Indian Express or something, and so what would be your exact way? Would you just like go around and research about India ASEAN relationships? How is ASEAN formed? Some other naval exercise. Like, do you used to do this exercise or?
Uh, I did see all this was not typically covered in the explained section of the Indian Express. So I just looked through the
Hmm.
explained section, and if some topic was not covered even in the explained section, then I looked at other sources. Like I looked at like Wikipedia, some UPSC websites, but like only on the very surface level. I did not by UPSC websites. I do not mean to say that I went into as much depth as the UPSC website go into. I just looked at the surface level that the consortium of NLUs asks you. But most of the time, this content was covered in the compendiums and the newspaper itself. So I very rarely had to go looking for external sources.
Actually, like I have having been like if you can call it FOMO as well. What I do now, what I started, I wake up, I read Hindu, I make notes out of it. Then Indian Express explain section, if anything important I find in editorials. Like a few days back, there was this editorial which had the judgment, which in which like Supreme Court of US legalized same-sex marriages. So that was mentioned. So like such notes I make. Then I go to Drishti IS. Then I make notes out of that, and it's taking very long. And still, I'm anxious that if I would miss out on anything.
I
So
don't
that.
think you need to look through Drishti IS because, see, like, and yeah, this is very important for everyone. A lot of CLAT aspirants go looking through UPSC websites, UPSC magazines. CLAT is not UPSC. The depth of current affairs and static GK, which is asked in CLAT, it is much, 100 much, if that's a word, times easier than what UPSC asks you. So you do not have to go into that much depth, believe me. Okay, a question, a corollary that might arise is, how do you know if this particular let's say this particular topic is important or not, right? You see a topic in the newspaper, you're thinking like, is this important, is this not important? What you can do for that is, like, what I personally did was first see if is this topic of national or international importance. For example, suppose you're from Maharashtra, like me. Suppose something happened that is only significant on a Maharashtra level, then it's not important, because you have to think from the consortium of NLU's is perspective. It is a national body, right? So any GK it asks from you, it will definitely be only that GK which is important at a national level. So, for example, something that happens in my city or something that concerns only Maharashtra, not important. But if it is, for example, Maharashtra holds elections, that is important on a national level, right? Or, for example, the Supreme Court gives some decision, or the central government brings in some law. These things are important on a national level. Or you can even look at the international level. For example, why not? Russia declares war on China because, well, it seems to be in the habit of declaring war. This is important on an international level, and this is important from a client perspective. But anything which is of only local importance, that's not important. And yeah, another thing, there are many topics which are important on an international level, but you'll see them in the news once and then you'll never see them again for the rest of your life. So such topics aren't really important. But if there is a topic which is of national importance or even greater importance, and you are seeing it recurring in the newspaper over and over and over, like if you have seen this same topic 2 to 3 times, then you can say, ki, yes, this is important, and this is I need to cover this for CLAT. I hope that helped. If I went off on a tangent, but yeah, this is a doubt many people have, and I hope this was
Like,
helpful.
you won't go much into detail if like just some simple news, one exercise which Indian Navy holds every year, and it just happens.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
just like
okay.
see when is the last time it happened in India, or like when was the first time it happened, etc., etc. That sort of thing.
And like on the day of the exam, you started off with current or not?
No. Like I was done with all studying. the night prior to the exam. I thought, keep this time done. On the day of the exam, like particularly CLAT, not ALIT, on the day of CLAT, I just like attempted a few, like one passage from every section. Like I did one passage from English, one passage from legal, one passage from LR, and one passage from QT, just as a warm up to get my brain's gears running. Yeah, I think that.
That's a good thing. First time I've heard of it. It's a great strategy. Seems.
Yeah, I actually heard it myself from someone. I really don't know who it was, but I found it to be quite helpful. It really got my brain working. All right, Vani.
Hi, I just started preparing for CLAT in mid-April, and I had almost given 16 marks, and was my score was about 50 to 70. I just wanted to know that will these 6 months enough? Are they enough?
More than enough. Like it, see, CLAT, there is no such thing as a syllabus. It's not like, oh, I have so much to cover in 6 months. There is no syllabus. It is basically glorified reading comprehension. There is no such syllabus which you have to cover. So 6 months are more than enough. You just have to make sure that you spend those 6 months productively.
Yeah.
All right, Saurav.
Uh, Actually, you are very good at RC and CR. Can you just explain me the hacks and tricks to improve the reading speed and accuracy?
Saurav, अच्छा, are you more comfortable in Hindi?
यस, मैं हिंदी में कंफर्टेबल हूँ.
ओके, देखो सौरभ, रीडिंग स्पीड बढ़ाने के लिए ना तो कोई हैक तो है नहीं. उसको टाइम लगेगा एंड बहुत मेहनत भी लगेगी. बट देखो, सपोज आप कुछ देखो, द ओनली वे टू इम्प्रूव योर रीडिंग इज टू रीड एंड रीड अ लॉट. आपको जो मिले आप वो पढ़ लो. आपको कोई इंटरेस्टिंग नॉवेल मिलती है वो पढ़ लो, कोई इंटरेस्टिंग ऐसे हाथ लगता है वो रीड कर लो, हर दिन न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ो. अब जितना रीड करोगे ना उतना आपका वोकैबुलरी भी इंप्रूव होगा, आपका रीडिंग स्पीड भी इंप्रूव होगा एंड आपका कॉम्प्रिहेंशन भी इंप्रूव होगा.
Yes.
So the only trick to improve your reading is to read, and then read some more.
And do you write mocks offline on OMR based?
Yeah. I downloaded an OMR with 150 questions and like 4 options, and I used to fill the OMR alongside giving the mock.
Within 20 minutes, you are able to complete the English. It is unbelievable for me.
Yeah, like it took more time in the beginning. Like when I started giving mocks, it took like 25-30 minutes. But yeah, one place I was like, I had an advantage. I have been a reader since childhood. I always had a good reading speed and a good vocabulary. So that was an advantage for me. And so yeah, like in a few months, I was able to bring down my English time to 20 minutes. But
And
yeah, sort of the
yes,
only trick I can give you is work very hard, read as much as you can, and like once you begin reading very consistently and do it for months and months, your speed will increase automatically. Take my word for it. Because
yeah, I
reading is an
will.
acquired skill, you cannot learn it overnight.
And what do you follow for QT? How much DI sets you practice?
For QT, I just like solved the mocks. And okay, one very good thing for QT. So see, the QT asked in CLAT, one thing you have to understand is the consortium's focus is not on how good you are in, let's say, geometry or trigonometry. They just want to check how quick your maths is. They want to check how fast you can do these 3 sets. So I think quick mental calculations play a huge part in doing QT. And one trick, so to speak, which I devised for improving the speed of my mental calculations was, whenever I was going somewhere and I saw a vehicle, I just added up the numbers on its number plate. For example, I was on the road and I saw a scooter with the number 1431. I quickly added 14 plus 31 in my mind, and after that I immediately subtracted 31 and 14 from each other. And I did this for months and months. Like, I think I did this for 4 to 5 months, and by the end, by the day of CLAT, my calculations were incredibly fast. I was still, and I am not good at maths, but I had quick calculations, and that helped me a lot.
Yeah, it was really a nice trick.
Yeah, and all of you can do it. Just be very careful, because you are walking on the road. It is a very dangerous thing to not be careful. I would recommend ki suppose you are in the passenger seat while going somewhere, only then should you do it. Do not do it while driving. It is very dangerous. Also, not while you are walking on the road. If you are, well, let's say, standing in your balcony and seeing the traffic, or you are in the passenger seat and going somewhere, then you can do this. Just make sure that you are safe. Do not endanger yourself in doing this.
Yeah, and for legal, how do you uh, attempt legal reasoning questions?
How did I attempt legal reasoning? For
How much
legal,
time basically? How much time do you spend on legal section on actual CLAT paper?
on actual CLAT day, I think it took like 45 minutes, I think. Like, I was
I
planning to get it done in 40 minutes, but well, on the final day you are nervous, and it took me around 45 minutes.
also this year legal was very lengthy. Options were long and
um So yeah, matlab, you just have to improve your reading speed. See, once you improve your reading, then three whole sections, 100 questions become easier for you. So the
yeah.
only trick I can give to you, Saurav, is work on improving your reading. Be consistent with it. I know it will seem very difficult, but once you are good at it, then no one can stop you.
Sure, I will read a lot.
Yeah, all the best. Kanav.
Yeah. Sorry to for bugging you again and again, but yeah. Did you like also do that
It's fine. I'm
LSAT?
here to help you.
I'm
Yeah,
so
sorry,
grateful
sorry,
for
sorry.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, did you give those LSAT prep tests which Rishi Shivani had suggested? Like any external such
Mm,
material which you referred for
no,
logical and all?
no. I just relied on the CLAT material and CLAT mocks. Very frankly, I did not have enough time to give LSAT stuff. So
Hmm.
yeah, I just gave like CLAT material. I did not go for LSAT or GMAT. If you have the time for it, then it's a good thing. A few of my friends did give it, and it's good. If you have the time to spare, then you should go for it.
And it's fine to be remembering like CR Panacea is a course by NLTI, right? So they had come up with these sectionals, which are some 7-8 sectionals. So like the score in those and like CL mocks ka geological score in that is like 20. In same goes for like these sectionals, and in the real paper it's around like 29, the past 2-3 years paper. So like I'm unable to understand if the answers which they are giving are vague, or like is it us who are at wrong? Is it us who are not able to comprehend it? So I'm unable to
No. So
like
yeah, there's just a difference in the difficulty level. And yeah, I guess that's a good thing, because you have to be acquainted to a tougher level. Just because the LR has been easy in the past 4 years papers does not mean it will be easy, right? It
yeah.
could very well be a lot tougher than the past years. So yeah, I think just, I mean, yeah, there's no harm in attempting tougher questions. If the actual LR in the CLAT paper is easy, that's great. But if it is tough, then you should be prepared for the worst.
And
So yeah, I
did
think
you?
it's just a problem. It's just a thing of the different levels of difficulty.
Sure. And did you also like brush up on assumptions and you read the theory part for logical?
Uh, Theory for logical, as in?
Like those are books, right, for Willy and all. Critical reasoning books are there which tell you
No,
what
no,
assumption
no, no,
is,
no, no,
what
no.
is
Like, as
premise.
I told you, I really did not even have time to look at any material other than CLAT material. So no, I did not go for any external stuff for reasoning, logical reasoning. It was just like all CLAT material and CLAT mocks that I had.
But still, if you had to recommend one book for like one resource for maths, some resource for maths, what would be it? Like books, I'm saying.
I really don't
Practical
know, Kanav,
other than
actually, because I really never looked at any external material. According to me, for maths, your mocks are more than sufficient. Just, you know, when you come home after giving the mock, solve those maths questions once again, and I think that should be sufficient.
and did you give any other mocks other than CL and NLE during it?
Um, yeah, I did try out a couple other mocks, but yeah, mostly it was CLNLE.
And you would have given how many mocks in your whole entire?
Um, at least 70 to 80.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah. Hanshika?
Yeah, just like you were enrolled in CL, right? So I'm guessing you were also provided with the material books that these guys have given. So did you like go through those questions? Did you solve those questions this year, like when you actually had the CLAT, or like had you done it past when you were in 11th grade?
I really did not attempt that much material. Like, see, I was not too serious in 11th. And even in 12th, I started getting serious around April and I got really serious in June. So I did not attempt too much material. Like, mostly it was for logical reasoning because I was a bit poor at it. But yeah, I mean, if I was weak at a section, then I would attempt that previous material as well. There's no harm to it because there's no syllabus. It's not like the syllabus can get outdated or anything.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Keshvi.
So, did you do any extra preparation for ALET or it was only based on your CLAT preparation?
Most like it was pretty much similar to my CLAT preparation. I just did some analytical reasoning in the week before ALET.
And like GK, it was the same. Like the CLAT GK was manageable for ALET GK as well.
Yeah. I did not like practice one-liners separately.
Okay, and like AR,
Um,
like do we need to practice it throughout the year or something like that? Like a lot of questions of every topic, like blood relation or direction,
like you should just know how a particular type
to
of question is
approach it.
posed. Yeah,
Okay.
you just need to know how to approach a question and like yeah, brush up on it in the week prior to ALET, like week or a month prior to ALET.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Nayab.
Yeah, hello. Actually, I got AIR 1256 in CLAT 2023, but I'm taking a repeat. I'm taking a year drop year for NLS. But the problem is that I'm not able to rectify past mistakes from my mock. Like when I'm analyzing a mock and I see a mistake, and then I'm on the next mock, I'm concentrating that I don't have to make mistakes. Then I do questions that I wrong the questions that I already should have gotten right beforehand. That my concepts were clear. So it's kind of I'm not able to correct my mistakes from the past mocks.
So Nayab, it seems to me that you're getting nervous and that is leading to you underperforming, right? So I think for your nervousness, you just have to tell yourself that this is not going to help me in any way. Like, how will being nervous help you? You just have to reinforce that idea that I am good at what I am doing and I do not have to be nervous. Yeah, I think that's about all you can do. Because, yeah, if your concepts are already clear and you are able to understand your mistakes, that just means that you're getting nervous and that nervousness is preventing you from achieving your potential.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Acha, one thing which for nervousness, which I don't know how helpful it would be, but something my friends did and even I did on the CLAT day was like my friend used to do it before every mock, and even I did it on the day of CLAT and ALET. He listened to Hanuman Chalisa before every mock, and it he said it helped him, and I mean maybe it did help me on CLAT and ALET in CLAT and ALET. So yeah, you can try this. I mean, really don't know how helpful this would be, but yeah, he did it. It helped him, and I feel like it helped me as well. All right, are there any other doubts? If all right, so I'll just like quickly tell you all about a little bit about NLTI. Just a second. Windows. Um, just a second, guys. Screen share. Start screen sharing. And, yeah, I think it should be visible now. Can
Yes,
you
it is
guys see my
visible.
screen? All right. So NLTI, I'm sure all of you already know about it. Run exclusively by NLS students, an entire NLS students initiative. So yeah, NLTI is basically a mentoring thing. So, for example, any mentors that you get in NLTI, they will be all NLS students. And they are all the top ranks of CLAT 2023, 2022, etc., etc. So, for example, if you enroll in NLTI, then these are the things you'll be getting, which you can see on your screen. First is mentorship by NLS students exclusively. If someone is in NLS, then that means obviously they are the best at what they're doing, right? That's why they got into NLS in the first place. So yeah, you will be getting mentored exclusively by NLS students, and that too by all the top ranks who can help you with any problems that you are having, who can guide you through your preparation. Then daily doubt clearing session and weekly live doubt clearing session. So what will happen is you'll be added into a group with like seven other aspirants. You can, and your mentor will also be in that group. You can ask any doubts you have to the mentor on that group. And every week, a mentor will be having a live meeting like this with you every single week. So you can also get any doubts you have, get any mentorship that you need right there. Then you'll be getting a personalized timetable and a schedule. Then NLTI has a Super 30 group each year, and you will be getting preference to be in that group. How this group really helps is it creates a sense of competitiveness in you. Because believe me, if you work hard enough, soon you'll be pretty good. But CLAT is a national level examination, and being pretty good is not good enough. You have to be the best, and when you are in a group like Super 30, it motivates you to be the best. This competition between you and everyone really motivates you to do it. Um, and lastly, yeah, this study buddy groups. You'll also be added to study buddy groups, which will also, you can give mocks with your study buddies. You can analyze them. You can ask them any doubts you have. You can make GK notes together. You can do n number of things together. And believe me, it's really, really helpful. But that's not all, because you'll also be getting mocks along with your mentorship. So you'll be getting 35 CLAT mocks, 5 ALET mocks, 10 other law entrances mocks, and 50 sectional tests. Now it goes without saying, but uh, okay, so these mocks are also made exclusively by NLS students, right? And it goes without saying, but if someone is in NLS, and that means they have understood how CLAT works, right? They have understood what the examiners think, and they will be able to help you best. They will be able to make the best mocks because they understand how the consortium makes the actual papers. So you can be very well assured about the amazing quality that these mocks are going to have. Now coming to my last point, you can see these three schemes for joining right here. But to give you a good surprise, these three schemes, they are not these are not the current prices. These prices have been reduced further. If you enroll soon, you'll be getting discounts on these prices. So yeah, you can see the contact details right here, this phone number and this email as well. You can contact them anytime. And if you do enroll soon enough, you'll also be getting a discount on these prices. So I would say it is an amazing opportunity. You should all go for it. Thank you. Saurav, you have something to say?
Yes, I want to ask how many mocks are done for
I think
NLTI?
7 or 8 mocks are out yet, but you will get all 35 of the mocks. Like, it's not like you will miss the first 7 mocks, or like all 7 mocks are already available on the website. And as each mock comes out, it will be made available on the website. You don't have to worry about that.
And we will get the explanation also on the website.
Yes. You'll have to enter your answers on the website and you'll get an analysis of the mock right there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any doubts, anyone? Um, all right. That seems to be it. Then, chalo, guys, thank you for the session. It was lovely talking to all of you. I really hope I was able to help you with your doubts. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in an LTI, and I look for even more forward to seeing you at NLS, hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.